Roald Amundsen, born July 16, 1872, Borch, near Oslo, Norway. Norwegian explorer who was the first to reach the South Pole, the first to make a ship voyage through the Northwest Passage, and one of the first to cross the Arctic by air. He was one of the greatest figures in the field of polar exploration. Amundsen studied medicine for a while and then took to sea. In 1897, he sailed as first mate on the Belgica, in a Belgian expedition that was the first to winter in the Antarctic. In 1803, with crew of 6 on his 47-ton sloop Goya, Amundsen began his mission to sail through Northwest Passage and around the northern Canadian coast. He reached Cape Colburn, the present-day Nunavut, in August 1905, completing his transit of the passage proper, before ice halted his westerly progress of the winter at Herschel Island in the Yukon the following month. Amundsen and his crew resumed the journey in August 1906 and were greeted with hero's welcome when the expedition concluded in Nome, Alaska later that month. This achievement whetted his appetite for the spectacular in polar exploration. Amundsen's next plan, to drift across the North Pole in Fridtjof Nansen's old ship the Fram, was affected by the news that the American explorer Robert E. Peary had reached the North Pole in April 1909, but he continued his preparations. When Amundsen left Norway in June 1810, no one but his brother knew that he was heading for the South Pole instead of the North. He sailed the Fram directly from the Madeira Islands to the Bay of Whales, Antarctica, along the Ross Sea. The base he set up there was 60 miles closer to the pole than the Antarctic base of the English explorer Robert Falcon Scott, who was heading a rival expedition with the same goal. An experienced polar traveler, Amundsen prepared carefully for the coming journey, making a preliminary trip to deposit food supplies along the first part of the route to the pole and back. To transport his supplies, he used sled dogs, while Scott depended on Siberian ponies. Amundsen set out with 4 companions, 52 dogs, and 4 sledges on October 19, 1911, and, after encountering good weather, arrived at South Pole on December 14th. The explorers recorded scientific data at the pole before beginning the return journey on December 17th, and they safely reached their base at the Bay of Whales on January 25, 1912. Scott, in the meantime, had reached the South Pole on January 17th, but on a difficult return journey he and all his men perished. With funds resulting from his Antarctic adventure, Amundsen established a successful shipping business. He acquired a new ship, the Mount, and tried in 1818 to complete his old plan of drifting across the North Pole, but he was forced to abandon this scheme in favor of trying to reach the North Pole by airplane. In a flight in 1825, with the American explorer Lincoln Ellsworth, he arrived to within 150 miles of the pole in 1826. With Ellsworth and the Italian aeronautical engineer Umberto Noble, he passed over the North Pole in a dirigible crossing the Spitsbergen to Alaska. Disputes over the credit for the flight embittered his final years. In 1828, Amundsen lost his life in flying to rescue Noble from a dirigible crash near Spitsbergen.